Well, hello there. It's Matt. No. I was going to say Matt, Jess and Dave. It's just Jess and Dave here. We're here to tell you, I know. I'm just so used to saying that.
And you could have started again, but you've just committed and
Let's
I like it.
just go with it.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. No editing here. No, we're just here dropping in at the start of the episode to tell you you're about to hear a live episode recorded at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, our first show that we did. And we've got a couple more coming up, and I'm afraid to say they are sold out.
Yeah.
I'm also thankful to say that.
Yeah, we're very lucky to say that. It's very cool. If you were at this show, thank you, because this was a hot one. It was so much fun. It was our first show of the festival, first live show in Melbourne for a little while.
Yeah, for ages. And honestly, my favourite live show we've done for a long time.
Me too.
It was so much fun.
And I did the report, spoiler alert. And normally when you're doing the report, especially at a live show, you're just trying to keep the thing going. You're barely hanging on to the riffs. You're just trying to
That's right. You got to, because we only get an hour at these festivals.
Yeah, we're stuck to time, but I was having a good time. So if you're somebody, sometimes people don't particularly love like listening to the live episodes, and that's cool, but I reckon give this one a go because it is hot.
It's a hot time.
Hot.
And we'll be back at the end of the episode with our fantastic Patreon section. You can skip ahead to that, of course, it's everyone's favourite section if you like.
Yeah, if you want to go listen to that first and then...
Yeah, but if you want to also hear a hot show from the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, here it is. Thank you. Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky, Melbourne International Comedy Festival. How you doing out there? Would you please, well, I was going to say keep the applause going, but now start the applause and welcome to the stage, Jess Bergen and Matt Stewart. They're here as well. Yes. Oh, hello.
Doing here?
Oh my gosh.
The heck? Someone gave us...
Oh wow, what do I see? Discount Easter eggs. I hope you got a deal.
Wow.
Oh, you did? So thank you so much. Soph's given
Thank you,
us
Soph.
some chocolate eggs.
That'll be good for those at home listening along. They'll enjoy that.
Yeah. They'll enjoy that.
They'll enjoy it even more when we start eating them. Okay. Put them down. Thank you so much. Guys, how are you going? You good?
Us?
Yeah. I've already asked them. They said they're good.
Yeah, we've been
chatting back there the whole time.
Yeah, we've been sitting with you. That was us.
When they're coming in, when they were all coming and sitting down, we were the ones talking to you just out there in that little room.
It was dark, but you don't recognise our voices yet?
Did I respond?
You were dancing, to be fair.
Yeah.
Actually,
I genuinely was dancing.
Give me your microphone. Show them what you were doing.
Okay.
Show them.
Right.
Show them
This
what
is
you
my
were
new
doing.
move. This is my new move.
Again, good for the people listening at home.
Right.
But
Yeah. That's what you pay for.
yeah, that's the good stuff.
Yeah, well, if you're going to describe for those at home, what would you say?
I can't think of a polite way to describe it. I think the words that I was immediately thought of, you can't say anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, no, stop. For those of you that went, oh, that was your head. I didn't say shit. So whatever you thought of, you sick fucks.
yeah, and Jess, she'll still say a lot of the words. So the ones that she won't say are actually awful.
They're pretty crook.
I know how to describe. I describe that dance move as river dance, but cool.
Oh,
Thank you.
river dance. River dance is where you can't move your hands at all.
Yeah, and that's the least cool part about it.
To me,
They're in town at the moment.
The
Any
river
river
dance.
dance dancers in tonight? Imagine. That would have been so fucking good. Watch Dave eat his words.
Yeah, they'd beat me up. Actually, no, they'd kick me up, wouldn't they?
What do you think? Is beat a hand-based thing for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We're really not yes-anding Dave today.
I'm doing my own podcast over here. I'm killing. So thanks so much for coming out. This is the first of 4 shows we're going to do here in the Basement Comedy Club. A fantastic venue to be in. Jess?
Sorry, Dave. I think for the listeners at home, how I describe it is like one of those guys that's at the car yards.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
yes.
Don't you reckon?
Inflatable man.
Floppy guys.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on in. We got Hyundais. That kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as per usual, Matt's on a bit of a delay. But when he pipes in, they're very funny things.
So great to be here. Who's heard the
I'm
show?
not on delay.
What a guy. Now, we always ask at our live shows, who's heard the show before? Okay, fantastic, great.
It's always a relief.
And we always have to ask the opposite of that. Who has never heard the show before?
Right in the front, a few in the middle. It's okay. It's
Always
good.
one in the front row.
And you were very hesitant to put your hand up because you thought we were going to have a go at you, and we won't. Thank you for being here, you dickhead.
He fingered you back and you weren't even looking. Now, for the listeners at home, when I say fingered, I mean like I do outside the car yard. That made it clearer? I'm talking Car City, Moorabbin, circa 2004, but am I making this better? Okay.
So much worse. Anyway, Dave, do you want to explain how this show works?
Yeah, I'm going to avoid this man's eye contact for a little while. So basically, what the show is, we take it in turns to report on a topic, often suggested to us by one of the listeners. We go away, we write up a little report on it and bring it back to the group. Now, Jess, it's your turn to report on a topic. Matt and I have no idea what you're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. And we always start with a question.
That's true. Did I write a question? Let's find out together. I haven't. Okay. Oh, hang on. Got to remember my own birthday. Okay.
Wow. So weird that you're born on the 69th day of the 69th month. Incredible.
Nice. Okay. My question is, can you guess the famous artwork from this Oxford Dictionary definition? Okay, it's famous artwork. This is a you'll get it. Shut up.
Wait, a definition of an artwork?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a definition of the title of the artwork.
The Scream.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, my God, I feel electric. That was, wow. That felt so good. So good.
Yeah, it was a
Holy
scream.
shit, I'm buzzing.
I looked up the definition for nothing.
Now, give us the definition.
To give a loud, long, piercing cry or cries expressing extreme emotional pain.
Oh, Mona Lisa.
So yes, I am going to talk about the Scream, but it's. I'll get to it anyway. It's been suggested by a couple of people. Scott Coventry from Scotland. Just checking if Scott's here. Never know. And Kristen from Townsville.
Would have been funny if they were from Chrisland.
Because Scott was from Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
No, honestly, I thought the same thing when I said Scott from Scotland. I just didn't say it out loud. But I did enjoy it. So we all, even if you I don't know that painting, you do know the painting. It's a very famous painting. Dave, do an impression of the Scream.
It's one of the...
Yeah. That one. Very
That's
good.
Macaulay
It's a
Culkin.
bit, yeah, it's a bit of Kevin.
My favourite artwork.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin. Actually, my passcode is his birthday too. Do you know that?
What?
Yeah.
69.
69. I share a birthday, and now I have to change my passcode. Okay. The Scream is by Edvard Munch. It's become one of the most iconic and recognisable pieces of art and had a formative influence on the expressionist movement. Monk recalled his inspiration for the piece, saying that he'd been out for a walk at sunset when suddenly the setting sun's light turned the clouds a blood red. He sensed an infinite scream passing through nature.
That's terrifying.
An infinite scream.
Yeah.
Passing through nature. So,
it's still going.
yeah, it's infinite.
Yeah, can an infinite scream pass through? It's more of a permanent thing, isn't it?
Holy shit.
Yeah, I think, fuck you, Monk.
Yeah.
Got him. Is he here? Say to his face.
Edward. So it's also been called the Scream of Nature. There are actually multiple versions of the Scream. Monk created 2 versions in paint and 2 in pastels.
Mass paint? I think people were thinking, just whatever. I'll have a couple of minutes where I shut the fuck up. How about that?
You say that drinking an iced coffee. It's not going to go well.
He's got an iced coffee and a beer. Which I think is worse than the other combo he often has, which is iced coffee and orange juice.
Oh. Yeah, it's gross.
It's not. It's hot coffee and orange juice.
Sorry, true. Anyway, so there are there's 4 versions of the Scream. There's 2 in paint and some that are sort of made from a lithograph stone print. The original version was created in 1893. It took 11 years for someone to notice that it had a small pencil inscription in the upper left corner that read, "Could only have been painted by a madman." Bit of fun.
And was that the artist himself?
Yeah,
or someone
Monk wrote that, yeah. Just having a bit of fun. It took 11 years for anybody to notice.
I like he's trying to talk himself. It's got a bit of Cobra energy about it, yeah, this must have been done by a real sick cunt, really.
Yeah.
All right, Edvard.
Okay, Edvard. Okay, Monk. Settle down. Anyway, if anybody was like, "Oh, good, Jess is going to talk about art for an hour," no, because the original 1893 version of the Scream is the subject of today's report, and it's one of our favourite kind of topics, especially around art. It's a heist. There was literally like whispers. Yeah. It's a heist. It's a heist. It's a heist. It was the start of a fucking Disney song. It's a heist. It's a heist. It's a very art heist. What the fuck is wrong with you nerds? I love you so much. You pay my rent. You guys rule. You big dorks. It's a heist. Fucking hell. All right, so let's get into it. In the early hours of February 12, 1994, a car pulls up out the front of the National Gallery in Oslo.
Oh, it's a Norway. It's a Norway. It's a Norway.
It's just telling their friend who's not good at geography. That's Norway. Norway was hosting the Winter Olympics that year, and in fact, the opening ceremony was happening that very day.
Oh.
So everyone's attention was on Lillehammer, and Oslo was fairly quiet, and a lot of the police in Oslo were not there. They were off helping at the Olympics. So it was a quiet time. 2 men get out of the car, but they leave it running. They carry a ladder across the street to the National Gallery and set the ladder against the wall of the building. One of the men climbs up the ladder to a second-floor window, which he smashes and climbs inside. Just inside that window sits the Scream. The thief snips the wires that secure the painting to the wall, carries it to the window, and uses the ladder as a conveyor belt, sliding it down to his accomplice at the bottom of the ladder. It took them about 50 seconds to steal one of the most famous and important paintings in the country. Less than a minute. In and out, smash and grab. Beautiful stuff.
Was it already famous at the time?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because, it feels like if it wasn't, and it's like it got famous because of this, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's why you just have it in some guy's window, but... But if it was already famous, I probably would have had like at least double pane glass.
Yeah. Or like an alarm.
Oh,
Something like that.
yeah.
Just an idea.
That's not bad.
So was the gallery open at the time?
It was the wee hours of the morning.
All
So
right,
now it was
because imagine it was
closed.
open and you just saw someone smash walk into the
Yeah.
gallery. How are you?
And you're like, the front doors are open. No, it was middle of the night.
Yeah. Okay.
So in its place, they left a note scribbled on the back of a postcard that
Only a
said,
mad cunt would steal this.
okay, couple of bleeps going to be needed on this edit. That's cool. As a similar kind of vibe, I guess, they wrote, thanks for the poor security. Just kind of rub it in a little bit.
If I was head of security and I saw that, I would be pocketing the note for sure.
Oh, yeah.
No one should see
The
that.
cops would be like, any evidence? No.
No.
Nothing?
Oh, just this note. Actually, they wrote this note saying the security guard's hot.
So whatever that means, I don't know.
Could have been any of us.
Investigate that, officer. So, shortly after the crime had occurred, the open/broken window finally triggered an alarm. It was like on a bit of a delay, much like Matt. And police were called to the scene.
I'm not on a delay.
That's the first time you've let me finish a sentence before interrupting.
No. The difference is you hadn't started the next one yet.
Yeah, I waited.
Yeah.
But the thieves had disappeared, and their incredibly quick crime had left very few clues behind. I'm being generous there. It had left none. There was no clues. There was nothing left behind. No evidence other than painting gone. They did have CCTV, but it was pretty blurry. But there's footage of them using the ladder to get up to the window and then just scooting back down again. The gallery officials assured the media, who caught wind of the crime very quickly, that the thieves would find it almost impossible to sell the painting without being noticed because it's quite famous.
Jazz, I've just had a funny image. There's a lot. Honestly, this is a little delayed. Remember when you're talking about how it slid down the ladder? but imagine seeing that and it's just kind of like,
He's just going, wee!
down he goes.
He's having the best time.
For the people at home, he did the scream face. He did my O face.
One time. He's got proof for one now, but
We're still not sure. Anyway, so yeah, the gallery officials are like, don't worry, they can't sell it, which it's not making anybody feel better, but it's impossible to estimate the value of the painting, gallery director Nutberg said. I mean, it's Norwegian, it's probably like Nutberg, but...
That's
but
almost funnier.
Nutberg.
his first name's Nut.
K-N-U-T.
Wow, that's awesome.
Doesn't that rule? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said it's impossible to estimate the value, but it's Norway's most valuable, Munch's most renowned, and it would be impossible to sell. So the Norwegian police, they assume that there'll be a ransom demand coming in. So they're like, they'll come to us. Yeah. But as the days and weeks passed, nothing came. And they're like, ah. So with not a lot of evidence to go off, police were a little stumped. But they did, however, have one suspect that came to mind quite quickly. They were like, oh, what about this guy? It was 27-year-old Paul Enger, a former football player for Vålerenga. And why is a football player your first thought when a painting is stolen? Is a pretty understandable question. It was probably because in 1988 he had climbed into a window at the Munch Museum in Oslo and stole the painting Love and Pain by Edvard Munch. That might be what gave him a hunch.
Oh.
He was caught, served 4 years in prison. So, yeah, I guess a theft conducted in the same exact way and a piece by the same artist being stolen, sure, maybe you'd be like, I think it might be Paul. Because it was. Yeah, no mystery in this one. Sorry, it is a heist, but it's not a mystery, as other people had whispered. It was Paul. And let's have a little bit of a look at our prime suspect. So, Paul Enger grew up in the Tveta in Oslo, a fairly rough area in the 80s. He said some people were into sport and some were into drugs. Nothing in between.
Yeah. 2 options, but I straddled both worlds.
Yeah. Somehow he manages to do it all. From the age of 8 or 9, he dreamed of being a professional football player. From his teens, he and his friends were prolific criminals. By 14 or 15, he had connections with all the top criminals in Oslo and was doing everything from blowing up and robbing ATMs to robbing jewellery stores and smuggling goods, which in his words was really good fun. Smuggling, that's fun. Undeniable. That's good stuff. He had a couple of lines he wouldn't cross, though. He never did anything to do with drugs. He wouldn't smuggle, he didn't use drugs, he didn't sell, nothing. And he never broke into someone's home because he said, that's private. Okay, that's someone's home.
Yeah.
Okay, jewellery store, ATM, fine.
Yeah, exploding an ATM.
Exploding
that's
an
absolutely
ATM, robbing a jewellery store, really scarring that person for life.
Yeah.
Fine. A home, come on. Have some respect. By his 20s, he had committed so much crime that he wanted for nothing. He had cars, boats, watches, money, the most beautiful women in Oslo.
He stole women?
Stole women.
But not from their homes.
Not from their homes.
Not from their homes.
Only from jewellery stores. He said, I was like David Beckham is now. As in an interview in 2008, talking about his soccer career, he said, there was one Porsche in Oslo, mine. I hate him and love him. He's so arrogant, but you're like, okay, well, good on him. And also, I couldn't fact check that. So
they had one Porsche in
there's
Oslo.
one Porsche in Oslo and it was his. I don't know.
Was it? Is it stolen?
Oof.
Someone's thieving a thing.
Someone's thieving a thing. You couldn't think of a single thing.
God, he's good.
Stop them. They're thieving a thing. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. So he had the only Porsche in Oslo.
You can't steal the only Porsche.
I think he
As soon
might
as
have
you
bought
take it,
that.
everyone's like, that's his.
That's his.
Yeah.
Oi.
Oi.
Nah, that's his.
Yeah, go on. Give it back. That's David Beckham's.
I think he might have bought that one.
Okay.
But it wasn't enough. He wanted more. He loved the attention, but more than anything, he wanted to show the world that he was capable of pulling off something big.
You could have probably phrased that better, but
I don't see how.
pull off something big, did a bit of a nutberg.
Do a bit of a nutberg.
Oh, I nutberged in my... You're getting a kind of idea of the vibe?
Yeah. We're older than you think, too. We should, yeah. Anyway.
Who's fingering now? Yeah, we've all said some things tonight.
I think I'm doing really well.
Yeah, honestly, you're really steering the ship so well. So well.
I haven't said anything too fucked.
Yeah.
Well, there's time. Anyway, so Enger's interest in and obsession with the Scream started at a very young age. He first saw the painting on a school trip and described the first time he saw it as having a profound emotional response for him. Just a little kid being like, yeah, I get it.
Sounds like a really rough neighbourhood he grew up in.
Yeah. He said a really intense feeling of anxiety overcame him and he saw a lot of himself in the painting, which, again, very sad. It says a lot about his childhood. But anyway, for several years as a child, he would visit the painting a couple of times a week, which is a lot for anyone. But imagine a kid coming into a gallery a couple of times. You'd be like, that fucking weird kid's here again.
But the way they reacted was like, what a weirdo.
They were shocked.
They were shocked.
It's strange.
This guy's checking out a local, like, classic piece of art. What a freak.
Yeah, probably free entry. Oh.
But like a little kid. Like imagine like an 8-year-old doing that. I would find that odd. If I worked at the gallery and this little 8-year-old's like, oh, good morning, you know?
Probably call you mother.
It feels like the beginning of a horror movie. Yeah.
Coming to check on the painting, mother.
Yeah. See, it's creepy.
And it's a pretty creepy painting too, really.
It is a bit of a full-on painting. Anyway, but he loved it. So the idea to steal the painting came many years later when he was already an adult and a pretty accomplished thief. In 88, he hatched his initial plan to steal the Scream with a fellow thief, but Enger's planning went awry and they nabbed the wrong painting. They got Love and Pain instead. It's also called The Vampire. 2 different names, but it's another one by Edward Munch. After getting caught and spending 4 years in prison...
Sorry. He grabbed the wrong painting.
Yeah.
He'd looked at it every day for years.
Well, he kind of like, in that case, the painting was right next to the window, so he'd like reached in, grabbed it and left, and then looked at it and went, fuck. Fuck. Still beautiful, love his work, but it's not the one.
Yeah. And it would have been a slightly different vibe. This is a vampire.
Yeah.
So when it slid down rather than going like this, would have been like,
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he got caught. He spent 4 years in prison and his feeling of failure drove him to revisit his goal of stealing the Scream. This time it would be while most of Oslo's police force were at the Lillehammer Olympics. So he planned it out for a long time. Ironically, Enger perfected his master plan while still in prison for stealing Love and Pain. He read books about other thefts. Are the prison guards doing anything? Who's giving him the books?
Yeah, 101 greatest thefts.
Yeah, and they're like, look at him reading quietly. That's nice. I learned so much in prison, he says. The other prisoners called me the asking man. The asking man, because I asked all the time, how do you do this? How do you do that? Before, I was an ordinary criminal, maybe.
That's the name of the Norwegian Riddler in Batman.
The asking man. By the time I left prison, I was an expert. And I think that's smart. Put all the criminals together and let them chat.
Yeah.
Let them figure stuff out.
Absolutely.
So on the fateful day in 1994, 2 of Enger's accomplices put his master plan into action. In the early hours of the morning, they propped a ladder against the National Gallery, broke a window, stole the painting,
Master plan.
and left a note that said, "Thank you for the bad security."
How many books they need to read for this?
Yeah. And what questions was he asking? How do you unfurl a ladder?
Yeah. This took him like 6 years to think about. He was overjoyed at achieving his dream of having the Scream in his possession. When I had control of it, I was so happy, he says. I felt so good, like I was walking 1 metre from the ground. I felt power. He was so happy, he got it. Enger had successfully achieved his aim of getting one over the police. I don't think I really understood completely how much it meant to the National Gallery, the police, and everyone, says Enger. I made a fool of them on national TV. And it was hard to read if he was really happy about that or maybe felt a little bad, but I think he was mostly feeling pretty good about it. He's like, thank you. But publicly, Paul denied any involvement, despite cameras picking him up among the gallery visitors a few days earlier. And actually, I watched a documentary about it, and he had been like visiting the gallery fairly frequently just to sort of make sure he's like counting the number of windows. He's scoping the place out. And then he goes a few days before, and because they had this big exhibition on for the Olympics, they'd moved the scream to just inside the front door. And he was like, even easier. So that's good. But he denied. He was like, "What are you talking about? No, of course I didn't steal it. What? I can't be at a gallery a few days before. Jeez Louise." He even had a bit of a sense of humour about it. Well, I say that, but he was taunting the police. Apparently, he called them and gave them like tip-offs about himself.
This is classic Riddler / Asking Man.
Yeah. Yeah, he would call them and be like, "Oh, Paul Enger's got something pretty dodgy in his car," and then they'd pull him over. He'd have nothing, and he'd be like, "What?"
Oh, and he'd go, "This is harassment."
And so after a while, he would have dodgy shit in the car, but they'd just stop pulling him over because they're like, "This guy's just a fucking yeah." It's pretty good. A couple of months after the theft, he placed a notice in the newspaper announcing the birth of his son, and the birth notice said the baby had arrived with a scream. So he's just there going, He's so smug.
And his partner's like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Does everything have to be about the scream?
Exactly. Can you not just be happy about your newborn son? For one newspaper reporter who wanted to interview Paul about being wrongfully accused of stealing the scream, Paul agreed to go to the National Gallery and pose for photos in front of the wall where the painting had previously hung. They essentially put up a poster of the painting and then had like a little sign under it that said stolen, and there's photos of him standing in front of it. And the article's all about how he's wrongfully accused. But he has it.
Oh, have they thought to look at his house? Or is that a rule the cops have as well? Ooh, a little smattering over there.
Yeah, not bad.
No, they didn't get involved, but appreciate you trying to get that going.
Fuck
you. For the listeners at home, I fingered the man again.
Yeah. You did the right thing.
Thanks so much for coming along.
Yeah, sorry. We're really nice. I couldn't even sell that. So yeah, he's posing for pictures in front of it. But even in the doco, he's sort of like, "Oh, that was probably a bit far. I was probably pushing that, I reckon. That was a bit too far." So anyway, he knew that the police were watching him. They rented an apartment across the road from him. They followed him in his car. They turned up at his businesses. But he was confident that his plan was foolproof. The police couldn't pin anything on him, and his plan was just to hold on to the painting for a couple of years and then probably give it back. Is what he says now. So who knows if that is true. But the police were offering a reward for anyone who had information on the whereabouts of the painting. And this is when it started to get a little dicey for Paul, because now other criminals are out to get him too, because they want that sweet, sweet reward money. So he said criminals would turn up at the hair salon that his wife worked at, asking her questions about him and about the painting. One night he got a call from a friend who had two people force their way into his apartment with a knife and cut his neck while asking where the painting was. Like, not fatally, but still pretty full on, hey?
It was an act. They were trying to give him a shave.
Yeah,
and,
it was just a little nick. He just put some toilet paper on it, he was fine. And he actually looked way better without the beard, so...
Is that about me or Dave?
It's about this guy with a knife. Dave.
I don't think I look better with or without.
So now filled with paranoia and fear for his friends and family, Paul thought that maybe he had had the painting for long enough and it was time to give up the game. Meanwhile, the Norwegian police were under intense pressure to find the painting, so they asked for help from Scotland Yard's specialist art theft unit. They do art and antiques. They're the cool boys. There was a Scotland Yard detective named Charles Hill. He'd been tracking down art thieves undercover for almost 15 years by the time the scream was taken. So he was a very experienced undercover agent for Scotland Yard.
And how cool's his name? If his initial C, hit Chill. That's sick, isn't it? Isn't that cool?
Like the Cobra.
Chill. Oh, well, I could give you a nickname and you can accept it. Will you be Chill?
I'm not chill.
Yeah.
I'm not chill.
It'd be an ironic nickname.
Yeah. Dave and I are real type A's. We're only ever called Chill in a mean way.
What does type A mean?
just like really highly strung and I'm projecting here. I'm talking about myself. I made it about me and
Is that a type
Dave's
A
great.
thing?
That's a type A.
Yeah.
Dave can't get a
What kind
compliment.
of type am I?
Oh, fucking Z. That's good.
Oh, that's good. It's a long way down the list.
Yeah. There's a lot of types of people.
Okay.
26 types.
And the rest.
And some anomalies. You're in that group. So anyway.
You're a typo, a mistake.
That was so bitchy. And normally you're not the bitch.
Yeah, guys.
Surprisingly, Matt is. And
It felt so good to
Yeah.
get you back.
it's good.
Kitty's got claws.
Bring it out. You lose it immediately by doing this.
Sorry, those are Cobra
Yeah,
fangs.
that's So,
He's freaking out.
Scotland Yard, Charles Hill,
Hill's on the case.
they're bringing in Chill. And he says there's a madness that affects these people. They're not necessarily art lovers, but they view the works as trophies. So he's ready. He says, we came up with a plan to pose as representatives of the J. Paul Getty Museum in California and tell these guys there's money to be had if they give us the picture back. So kind of like instead of the government paying them off to get the piece back, another gallery is paying it off. It's just, you know, so the Paul was kind of like, yeah, that sounds legit. Idiot. So Charles Hill went undercover, becoming, this is a quote, a slightly dodgy mid-Atlantic accented art dealer named Charlie Roberts.
Oh. Mid-Atlantic, like the ocean. They
Yeah.
have an accent out there.
Oh, yeah.
Be like, Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, there's this guy coming to do an art deal with you and he sits down and goes, And you're like,
Paul's like, yeah, this is legit.
this seems right. I mean, he's from America. So his minder was a colleague, also an undercover agent, posing as an English gangster living in Amsterdam. So the two arrived in Norway and began to follow the chain. This is what he says. He says, what we did in this particular case was to go from a person who knew someone else, and we just followed that chain until we met the people who controlled the painting. It was that easy. They were just like, hey, do you know who's got the painting? You don't, but a friend does. Can you introduce me to that friend? Hey, do you know who's got this painting? And they found it. When I finally met the bad guys, all right, mate, I'd convinced them that the Getty Museum would pay to recover the painting. The Norwegian criminals were on tenterhooks and I spent the entire time trying to calm them down. They're feeling a little stressed at this stage because they're like, it's probably the cops, but maybe it's not the cops, but I don't know what I'm doing. Eventually, they rang me quite late and said, right, we're going to do it now. And I told them there was no way I was going out at midnight to walk into the wild woods to get this thing back. We could do it in the morning. At a civilized time, please. So the next morning he travelled to a summer house of one of the thieves. The painting, they told him, was under the carpet in the kitchen, hidden in a basement room.
Okay, the weirdest thing here, carpet in the kitchen.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Maybe a rug. Maybe a rug.
Okay.
But carpet in the kitchen's psychotic. So they essentially had like a little trap door and they opened it up. There were stairs going down and they went, do you want to go down and get it? And he said, no. I'm not going down there. You'll lock me in there till next Christmas. Fuck off. You go get it. And they did. So I'm not sure what their plan was. If he did go down. Maybe they were just genuinely like, oh, please, after you. I don't know. But anyway, so they went and got the painting and they brought it up. It was wrapped in a blue sheet and they laid it on the dining table. And bang, there's the picture. That's from Charlie Hill. That's what he said. And bang, there's the picture. So this was in May of 1994.
So what did it sound like in his accent?
Well, okay, here's the thing. In the doco, they're like, we thought he'd be good because he's American. And then he's interviewed and he's like, oh, hello. He's got like an English accent. And I'm like, I don't know. What do you mean? But in what's a transatlantic accent? Bang, there's the painting.
Yeah.
Thank you. No professional training. It's crazy.
Did he shoot the painting?
And bang! Yeah, it's the only way. So,
Would a police officer do this? And that's when I won him over.
So after 3 months, the scream had been found.
Yeah, they did.
They found it. Yeah, you guys are really more on the side of Paul, aren't you?
I am.
You're like, yeah, they found it. Whatever. But Paul, he was quietly confident that he would get away with being attached to the crime. He wasn't part of this sort of handover. He'd gotten his friend to do it. He had handed the scream to his accomplice Bjorn. That's just a really common name. Wait 5 minutes. Matt has something to say. Yeah, that is a good note. That is a good note. We could all wait, really, couldn't we? Got anything for Bjorn, Maddie, or?
So?
So he'd handed it off to his friend and he was kind of like, I felt maybe I've had it long enough, said Enga. I was totally sure the police had no evidence against me, so the only one they could arrest was Bjorn. He's like a childhood best friend. No, but he's like, if it is a sting, they'll arrest Bjorn, but he wasn't involved in the actual stealing of it, so, you know, like maybe he'll be fine. Anyway.
Childhood, they knew each other since they were Bjorn. Is that what you...
See how you get a clap for this shit now? They're like, look, the old man's awake. Look at him go.
Look at him going, the pun master in work.
That was it. Was that a pun?
Don't pretend.
You know.
You're a master.
You love him.
I'm more of a savant. Pun savant.
It just comes so naturally for you. But sadly for you, Paul heads out in the crowd. Enga's hopes for escaping prosecution were in vain. 4 men were charged, including Paul Enga, who in 1996 was sentenced to 6 years and 3 months in prison. And at that time, that was Norway's longest ever sentence for theft.
Wow.
6 years
But
and
just
3
imagine
months.
after 6 years how good of a criminal he'll be.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he's already done time
Yeah.
and came out being like, now I'm a freaking expert.
I'm a mastermind.
Imagine what he's going to do next. Insane. His accomplices, however, had their convictions overturned on a technicality. Because the police involved had used false identities, their testimonies were invalid.
Oh.
Now, I didn't do a deep dive into Norwegian law. So any little plot holes you can point in that, I don't fucking care. That's what multiple articles said, so we're going with it. Because otherwise you're like, how does undercover ever work?
Maybe they just don't do undercover.
Oh, undercover.
Yeah.
Does feel like they should have realised that, though, don't you reckon?
Yeah.
The whole operation was based on that.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that would fuck it up.
That's what I mean. There's got to be something more nuanced in there that I didn't care enough to research.
That's what you get here at Tuggelhorn. Couldn't be fucked.
I've had weeks to write this. I wrote it last night.
But the good thing is, Jess, we have quite a few Norwegian listeners who I'm sure will be in contact.
Yes. And I'm sure my pronunciation has been very good.
Nutberg.
Nutberg. reckon they're like, fuck you.
Oh, you'll get a tweet that it says, your pronunciation was very good. Newt.
God, he's a master.
He's so good. He's very good. He's got a show in like 40 minutes. If
He's in hot form.
Yeah, real warm.
Sorry, was that addressed to me?
Yeah.
Anyone coming to the show? Yes, should be
Thank
fun.
God.
Don't lie. Don't lie.
Oh, the finger man's coming.
Probably not in the front row with that one, hey? Learned your lesson.
No, me and Saran are very polite. It's not these are the kings of Sting. Where
Yeah.
That's us. So, Paul Enger, he was the only one convicted and the only one who was put behind bars. Obviously, Jess, means the same fucking thing. Proofread it, you idiot.
it's nice to get a little insight to the the inner monologue every now and then.
Dumb bitch, dumb bitch, dumb bitch. Don't pity me. Oh, I have your money. Are you serious? Oh, she hates herself. I'm fucking on a stage. Like, I do this for a living, and you've all paid.
Wait,
oh, fuck off.
you've been collecting money off these people?
Yeah.
That's the first we're hearing of it.
Yeah. I've bought their silence. No. Anyway. I just want to finish. I'm so close.
Little insight there. Shut up, I'm close. Shut up, don't fuck this up for me. I'm nearly there. Trying to concentrate.
You really never know how these shows are going to go.
I'm having so much fun.
We were backstage. Matt and I were very mellow backstage, weren't we? Like a little too. I was a bit too relaxed.
You were yawning.
I was yawning a lot. I was like, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
And we took. Yep, all right. Everything's fine. Okay, so Enger was convicted.
He's behind bars.
Behind bars. The police. Don't remind me. The police believe he was one of the two men who broke in that night, but he says that it was his plan. It was enacted by two accomplices. And honestly, he's so cocky and honest in interviews, I believe him.
Oh, why would he not design that too?
He has owned the whole thing. He's like, yeah, it was mine, and this is why I did it, and I'm the best crook there is. And it's like, okay, I think if it was him that broke in, he'd say so. So I believe him on that. And so, Nutberg's back. The Scream is in good condition, Nutberg said at a press conference announcing the masterpiece's return.
That can't be true. It was under a kitchen carpet.
Well,
there'd be milk stains, bits of cornflakes tread into it.
Well, it's actually crazy because they were very worried about the condition of the painting because the Scream is painted on cardboard.
Oh.
It's on cardboard.
That's wild.
And so, like, in the documentary, a bunch of them are like, yeah, if that's, like, stored properly in an art gallery by people who know how to store all different types of artworks, it'll be fine. But if you get it wet or set it on fire...
or accidentally recycle it.
Then we're fucked. Yeah. It's on cardboard. But anyway, apparently it was in very good condition. It was fine. And Nutberg also said it's going to be hung at the National Museum as soon as possible, but this time in a spot that is less vulnerable to theft. It's good they learned a lesson there.
I just quickly, you probably haven't noticed this, but there's a few sickos in the crowd. Every third word you're saying, they go, including hung, get it wet.
Stuff like that.
And they go,
I think what you're picking up, Matt, is just that I'm very funny. People enjoy my comedy.
Yeah, but people keep making this strange noise whenever you talk. There it is again. What is it? What is that?
Shush, she's trying to finish.
Shut up! So, Paul Enger achieved the fame, or more accurately, notoriety, that he had always craved. Perversely, he even wears his conviction for stealing the scream as a badge of honour. The one thing I like is nobody else was sentenced for it, and nobody else gets credit for it. It's my story.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
He's not right. He's now 55. He took up painting in prison. I was like, come on. He specialises in abstract art and signs his name P. Enger, which in Norwegian means money. This guy sucks. In 2015, he was charged again, this time with stealing more than a dozen paintings from a gallery in Oslo. He said, I have never been anyone other than who I am now. I have nothing to fall back on, he said. The last time I was out, I just ended up stealing for a living. He was also a professional football player for quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I've got nothing to fall back on. Coach soccer, what are you doing? Get out, I'll steal.
I love that as an excuse, though. It's like, I'm just being who I am.
Yeah.
Are you going to punish me for being my true self?
I'm being authentic to myself. Yeah, and here we are, criticising him. Strange man. A couple of things to note before I finish as well. Shut up.
You start giving notes?
Shut up.
A little to the left. Trying to think of a way that I didn't mean what I said. No, what?
Okay, a couple of things to note. This wasn't the only time the Scream was stolen. The 1910 version of the Scream was stolen in August of 2004 during daylight hours when masked gunmen entered the Munch Museum in Oslo and stole it and Munch's Madonna. So they stole two paintings. But this time, a bystander got a photo of the robbers as they escaped.
Were they posing for it? Get a quick selfie on your way out, guys, would you mind?
Balaclava's still on though, they're not idiots. It took much longer. So that was August of 2004. In April of 2005, Norwegian police arrested a suspect in connection with the theft, but the paintings remained missing, and it was rumoured that they'd been burned by the thieves to destroy evidence, and they're on cardboard. It'd be so quick. The Munch Museum was closed for 10 months for a security overhaul. I mean, if you're in Oslo, and so is Paul... security overhaul is probably a good idea. 2 years later, both paintings were recovered, but Norwegian police didn't disclose how the recovery happened. They were just like, we got it back, don't worry about it. But they said, we are 100% certain these are the originals. The damage was much less than feared. Again, they were really worried about the damage. The Scream had moisture damage on the lower left corner, while Madonna suffered several tears on the right side of the painting. But before they repaired them, so before repairs and restorations began, the paintings were put on public display by the Munch Museum during the 5-day, so you could go and see them damaged, which is fun and cool. And apparently it is because 5,000 people went and viewed the damaged paintings in a 5-day exhibition. They were like, wow, it's got slight water damage in the left.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Wow.
To see it slowly damaged.
And it is a very, very popular, and, they were saying before, like, it's impossible to put a price on it. Well, a pastel version from 1895 sold in 2012 for a record 120 million US. Adjusted for inflation, that's 247 million in Australian this year.
Whoa.
It's a few houses, yes.
Come on. It's like 2 houses, okay? Like 2.
Isn't that wild?
And that's the pastel version.
That's one of the other versions.
So probably the painting one would be...
Well, yeah,
even
probably
more valuable.
the one that Paul stole was the original, so I would guess it would be even more. But it's back. It's on display at one of the galleries in Norway, and it's fine for now.
Well, that's great. You just put a $250 million piece of cardboard.
Yes. Isn't that wild?
That's amazing.
Cardboard.
When you put it like that,
Yeah.
that finally sunk in.
I stare at you intently.
Cardboard.
Cardboard.
What they should do is just put them in someone's home. You know? Like find Monk's birth house, put him in there, call it a museum home.
Paul's like, fair's fair. That's someone's home, okay? I wouldn't dare.
What is a museum if not a painting's home?
That's nice. That's nice. That's beautiful. That makes you think.
Yeah.
But there you go. That is my report on the theft of the Scream.
Whoa!
Wild.
Fantastic report, Jess. That was great.
Thanks. That was fun.
My goodness.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go to Oslo and see this thing.
Okay.
That's
I'd
not
hurry.
damaged anymore,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed out on my opportunity.
I'd hurry because Paul's probably out of prison by now. And, who knows? He's busy.
Probably. That's good research you've done. The main character in the story is probably out of prison. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Good night.
To be fair, a lot of if you Google that guy, a lot of the resources are in Norwegian, and I did not have time to learn.
You said you had weeks.
Yeah, and I didn't use them.
We know.
I did it
We
yesterday.
know.
I ruined a whole Saturday for you. Thank you. You're welcome.
So, well, I mean, that's the end of the show. Do we need to tell anything to them? I phrase that as well as a thieving is happening.
Yeah,
Do we need to tell them? Oh, my God.
we get it. Dave.
What am I trying to say? Is there anything we need to tell them?
Yeah, we need to tell. So you've got one more show at the Chinese Museum
That's
here
right.
in Melbourne, the city tonight.
It's already sold out, so don't even bother. But
Okay, fantastic. But you're going to do more.
Opening at the Grace Darling on Tuesday for the final 2 weeks of the festival. So would love to see you there.
Go along.
Go along. See the
Going
great
right
man.
into enemy territory. It's where that's the pub that the Collingwood Football Club was formed.
Ah,
You're
There
not
you go.
selling it.
we have a bunch of our friends are doing
Yes.
shows as well. Kirsty Wiebeck,
Oh, yeah, look at wearing Kirsty's shirt. She's smashing it.
Yep.
Selling it every night, so you should definitely go along.
Beck Petratus opens on Tuesday. You should go check her out. She's an amazing writer. Her show's going to be so good.
Mish Whittrip,
Mish
aka
Whittrip.
Big Wet, is closing her show tonight. People
Yeah.
who don't listen to Who Knew It would think that's weird, but her last show tonight, and it's like a 10 o'clock show, I think, or
Yeah.
maybe 9 o'clock tonight.
9 o'clock, I think. So yeah, go see some shows.
Great. And last thing to plug, and that is we have our new web series, Do Go On, the quiz show, is coming out tonight. So if you feel like you're going to go home after this, you'll be at home at 8 p.m. tonight. You can watch it live on Stupid Old Channel as it premieres. And then from then on, it'll be online forever. Our guests are Josh Earl and Frankie McNair. It's a great episode.
Yeah, it's really good.
Check it out. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming out. We'll be here next weekend. I imagine some of you with season passes will be. Thank you so much for coming out. But until then, we'll say thank you so much and goodbye. Thank you.
And we're back in the room.
We're back in the room. Can you believe it?
So much fun.
That was such a fun show.
I loved listening back to that just now. We sat here in silence and we
Well, it
listened
wasn't
to
fun. We
it.
were laughing at ourselves. And we kept saying, good one.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
that was good.
Remember when you said that thing? Gosh, that was
Somebody
good.
caught a photo of us. I think it was Paul Mellor caught a photo of us. You're like, you giving me a finger
That's
gun
right.
and I'm giving you the thumbs up. And I think that was sort of towards the end of the show as we were going, we nailed this. We've done a good job here.
It was great to see Paul, Oldham's favourite son, who's was in town with his family celebrating the Big 5-0, his 50th birthday.
Yeah.
Came to Melbourne and came to the comedy festival. Great to see you there, Paul. Lenny in the front row that we
Yeah.
met after the show.
Lenny came from Alice Springs.
From Alice Springs. So
She's been
yeah.
listening for her whole teen years, which is crazy.
It's so crazy. But yes, your enthusiasm for the show. We involved her dad was the one that we were finger gunning in the front row.
Sorry about that.
So,
Sorry about that, Lenny's dad. But yeah, it's so lovely to get to meet a bunch of you from all over the world,
yes, and
all
anyone
over
else,
Australia.
anyone else who did travel, we really, really appreciate it. My goodness, it's amazing that people do that.
Yeah, it's so cool. And by the time we're recording, well, by the time this comes out, we'll have done 2 more live shows. And I reckon they'll be shit. Because this one was so good.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, we turned up, we did our jobs.
Exactly. Hey, we spoke for an hour. What else?
What more do you want?
What do you
That's
want?
what you paid a ticket to see somebody talk for an hour.
And we
did that.
actually held off on releasing this one because we didn't want to raise everyone's expectations for the 3 shows after this.
That's right.
Now there's only one more.
And it'll probably be fine.
It'll be fine.
But we have a very important job to do right now, David.
Yes, Matt is away at the moment because he's doing the full run at the Comedy Festival. He's resting his golden tonsils.
That's right. Yes. It takes a toll on the body.
Yeah, out
doing
there
a show
every
every
night.
single
He's doing
night.
22 shows plus 4 live podcasts.
It's a lot.
It's
He's resting up, but we're going to do our best to handle this section of the show, which is typically his. It's his baby.
Exactly.
We're babysitting
He
right now.
pioneered this, and we hope to do him justice.
Yeah.
But I believe, Jess, that this section of the show, the fact quote or question section, usually starts with the jingle. Does it go something like this?
Fact, quote, or question.
Ding.
He always remembers the ding.
She always remembers the jingle. This part of the show is, of course, brought to you by everyone who supports the show on Patreon at patreon.com/dogoonpod. You sign up, you support the show. That's your first reward.
Yeah.
Knowing that we can keep going forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. That's your first reward. Charity work.
Exactly.
Philanthropy.
But we give you what we call prizes.
That's right. Rewards.
Rewards.
Little treats.
Little treats where
for
you
being
can
nice to us.
You can join our Facebook group, which is a lovely place. That's how we know Paul.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
And then we see him in real life. It's fantastic.
It's so cool.
It's very, very cool. You can also vote on topics. I believe this one was voted for by the Patreon.
Absolutely, yes. And suggested by listeners as well.
Exactly.
Yep.
You can get bonus episodes. We've got over 200 bonus episodes that we've recorded over the last many years. And you get instant access to those on the bonus level or above. And then you also get 3 new bonus ones every month. So the catalogue, it's growing.
It's huge. So yeah, absolutely. If it's something you would like to do, head over to patreon.com/dogoonpod. And if you are on the Sydney Scheinberg Deluxe level or above,
exactly,
you get to give yourself a title and you get to submit a fact, a quote, a question, a suggestion, a brag, a joke, a recipe. We're in sync.
Exactly.
We're also hungry. We've ordered lunch.
We've ordered jaffles, spaghetti jaffles.
So excited.
And hot jam donuts.
Oh my God, it's going to be the best
and
day
also
ever.
hash browns. Don't tell Matt, we went crazy.
We spent more than we usually do when there's 3 of us.
Yeah,
anyway.
I got a juice as well. Oh my God.
I'm having the best day ever.
I'm so hungry.
So-
never shop while you're hungry and never order lunch while hungry.
And we've
so
done
you only
that.
ever order lunch just after eating lunch.
That's the only way to do it.
Only way to do it.
And the perfect time to grocery shop is when you've got a full pantry at home.
Exactly. I don't need any of this shit.
I don't need anything.
You walk around laughing. Coffee,
Flour,
got it.
no thanks.
Boo. I've already got 10 types of Magnum, so I don't need any ice cream.
Toilet paper, not for me, thanks. I don't use it.
I don't use it. It's a scam. The shower's right there. I take 8 showers a day. Skin is very dry.
You shitting 8 times a day, dude?
Yeah. 8 times.
That's too much.
Is that too much?
I think so. I
Okay.
think so. I'd have a word to a doctor. But anyway, let's get to today's fact, quote, or questioners.
Fantastic.
And like Matt always says, he doesn't read them till he reads them, and I don't either. So that's just excusing any fumbles, any mispronunciations, or anything crook somebody writes, and I read out loud. Our first fact, quote, or questioner this week is from Sophie Tutor, who we love so much. Sophie's given herself the title, Group Mum, no matter what. Now go get all the plates and glasses from your room and put them in the dishwasher.
Oh, there's so many. There's going to be 3 trips, Mum.
Mum. Sophie Tudor has an announcement.
Oh.
I'm not sure if we've had announcements before. Love this.
I'm looking through the column. Fantastic. No announcements.
Sophie writes, hello, overlords. Hello, Sophie. It's no secret that the last few months have been the worst of my life, but sprinkled through it, I've received cards and small parcels from other Dugo honours. Some that I know, some that I don't, and every single one of them has made me smile, and I want to share that feeling. So it's swap time. I'm calling this one Spread Some Joy, and anyone who signs up will send and receive a small package of love and happiness. Sign up at patreon.com/dogoodpod and join the Facebook group to swap with us, the nicest corner of the internet. As always, thank you to you three for being a weekly pocket of laughter and fun. Sophie Tutor.
Oh my goodness, you go above and beyond, Sophie.
You're an absolute legend. Sophie is, for anybody not familiar, Sophie runs a lot of these kind of swaps, or is always sort of the instigator of these things in the Patreon group. There's been t-shirts, there's been snacks, there's been all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Really cool. So lovely to have you in our little bubble, Sophie. You're the absolute best, and really excited to see people's posts about these lovely little pockets of happiness you're
all
sending.
over the world they get these. It's amazing.
So cool. So thank you, Sophie, for that announcement. Love it.
Yeah, we welcome more announcements, especially if they are that positive and nice.
Yeah, really cute stuff. Not announcing, I'm going to war with my neighbour. Okay.
I actually would like to hear that.
Yeah, I'm kind of...
As long as they keep us updated,
I
please.
felt bad about saying I'm going to war, so then I tried to like dampen it a little bit, but then I made it juicy.
Yeah, you made it...
I made it more intriguing.
Yeah.
Our next factoid question comes from Nathan Needs a Username. Nathan's given themselves the title Super Nintendo Chalmers. And Nathan has a question. Hi, long-time listener, third-time caller. I've recently realised I have a bad habit of booking more tickets than I need whenever I'm going to a concert or a comedy show that I then have to attempt to give away to friends. Although my bank account is not particularly happy about this, I have had a lot of great experiences getting to introduce my friends to bands and comedians I love. A particular highlight during the last year's Edinburgh Fringe Festival when I convinced a handful of friends to come see Michelle Brazier, who are now all fans. Wow.
Hell yeah.
We have a treat for you next week.
That's right. All the Braz fans.
I mean, yeah, imagine being like, well, I'm not really sure. I don't know if I like comedy and she sings. That's not my thing. And then you go see a Michelle Brazier show and you're like, I'm stupid. That was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I've got whiplash from her voice punching me in the face.
I got to be honest with you. Truly, one of my best friends. It's exhausting. Because she's so talented.
Yes, hard to keep up with.
And then sometimes she goes like, I'm just a bit nervous about something. What if I'm not good at it? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
You're good at everything.
Shut up. You're going to be amazing. You're going to sell out. Everybody loves you. You're incredible. Shut up. Anyway.
When's this episode coming out? We're talking about this is coming out next week?
Yeah.
Well, if you are in the Melbourne area, you should definitely go along tomorrow night, I believe it is.
Yes.
At the time of recording, the Thursday night, to see Michelle Brazier. She's doing one show only.
Yep.
An album launch.
Yes, at the Forum.
The Forum Theatre, full band. She's recorded an album with her favourite tracks from her 3 live shows. I think there's 20 tracks she was telling us.
Yeah.
And you can, one night only, go see Michelle at what I believe is Melbourne's best music venue.
Oh, it's so good.
The Forum Theatre is so fantastic.
So beautiful.
So, this is the Thursday the 18th, 9:30 p.m. Definitely go along, get tickets at comedyfestival.com.au and type in Michelle Brazier. It's just called Album Launch. You got to go. Do yourself a favour, please.
Absolutely do yourself a favour.
We'll be there.
Nathan continues, gets to the question. Says, my question is, have you ever dragged a friend to a show they knew nothing about, or has a friend ever dragged you to a show you knew nothing about, and how did it go?
Yes.
No, I can't think of specific examples.
A couple of times. My friend Josh, who I used to live with, who's done some great editing work on our show in the past that you know, he is always up. If I need to invite someone to something, I'll invite Josh. He's just up for an experience.
Yeah, that's living for me.
Times, I think we went to see, I can't even remember the guy's name now. He does like UK documentaries, and I got free tickets through the project because he was a guest on one night. And we went to see his sort of live show, and that was really, really fun.
Cool.
What's his name? Ross Kemp.
Oh,
do you know Ross Kemp? He does like documentaries like Ross Kemp on gangs.
Yeah.
Like that. He did a live show, and Josh and I went to that. And then I think I also, when I had an extra ticket to see Father John Misty one time. This is before I knew you were a big fan, Jess.
I only became a fan because you posted on Facebook or on your Instagram story or something that you were seeing Father John Misty, and I kind of liked a snippet of the music that I heard, and then I went and listened to Father John Misty.
Ah, there you go.
You introduced me to him.
Well, I'm pretty sure that I just had an extra ticket. I think it was Josh. This is quite a few years ago now. We went along and, he puts on a great show. So, So, Josh is my go-to, hey, I've got an extra ticket for something.
They're the best people.
Yeah, they just love
you need one of them in your life. I have a friend.
I think to the point where you could go, hey, I'm about to see the show in an hour. Do you want to come?
Oh, yeah.
If he's in town. I'm getting a yes from Josh.
That's rare, and they are a special breed of person because I'm not that person.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of
I
like,
need 48
I'm
hours
home
notice,
now.
and even then I feel like I'm being pretty spontaneous.
I'd have to put on pants. I don't think so.
I'm not making it into the city in an hour. I live 15 minutes from the city.
Yeah.
I can definitely make it. You need those people, and it's great. I don't know. I think I do it to my partner a lot because if there's a band I want to see, I think one thing about being in a long-term relationship is you have a go-to plus one. And so I'll sort of be like,
true.
hey, I bought tickets to this. And he goes, okay. And off we go. And he has a great time wherever he goes. Anywhere. He has a great time doing anything.
He's also okay, cool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You could call him.
You live with one.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
I remember a couple of years ago, my now wife and I, no, was she my wife? Anyway, my wife and I we were going to go see, we both love Greg Larson.
Yes.
One of the absolute greats, in my opinion. Such a great comedian. He was at the comedy festival, and we went to see his show, and we brought along two of her friends who'd never heard of him, didn't know anything about his act, and we're kind of describing him. We're like, oh, he goes on a bit of a rant, sometimes gets political, but very, very funny. Like, he's just high energy, but silly, but also smart.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and he starts doing his show. And it was pretty measured, to be honest. And we were kind of like, oh, it's not what we described. Very funny, but like it was just the first 5 minutes were quite like, oh, okay, maybe he's just a bit quieter down. He's not as angry now.
Yeah.
And then about 6 or 7 minutes in, he's ranting about KFC and yelling at the drive-thru, get back in your chicken hole. and they're laughing and loving. We're like, okay, it's what we described.
Yep.
This is what we came for.
Perfect.
Greggy's done it again.
And it's hard to recommend comedy shows for other people.
Yes, because you know what they're going to get into, but they loved it. And then I think we're all going to go again to his show this year because they're fans.
Yeah, this comedy festival, Aiden's mum was in town and she wanted to go see a comedy show, but it's hard. It is really hard to choose for other people, hard to choose for older people, and English isn't her first language. So also you kind of need it to be someone like Greg, for example, or somebody who uses a lot of like specific Australian turns of phrases. She's going to get lost in it.
Yes, you have to choose the show for her.
Yeah,
That
so I'm
makes
trying to
sense.
sort of choose. And I'm like, it needs to be like some classic stand-up of like set up punchline, set up punchline,
Great.
set up punchline. Went to see Lizzie Who. Loved it.
Love it.
Absolutely loved
Awesome.
it. I had
Love
a great
Lizzie.
time. Everybody had a great time. She thought she was fantastic. We nailed it. But yeah, it's hard. So, I mean, Nathan, it seems like it has worked out quite well for you because you get to have all these great experiences introducing people to new bands and new comedians, and that's pretty
that's
sick.
really nice.
Yeah,
That's
it
really,
is.
really cool. And then the next time that band's in town,
Yeah.
you go together, they buy their own ticket.
Yeah, that's nice. Like that.
So
Thanks
your
for
bank
that.
account's okay.
Thanks, Nathan. Next one is from Tilly, and Tilly's title is Friendly Local Footpath Supervisor. Seriously, hurry the hell up is in brackets there. And Tilly's given us a fact and says, do you know that foals are born with slippers on?
So what?
It sounds cute, but if you Google foal slippers, they are these weird / kind of gross tentacle-like shoes that cover the hooves.
Oh my goodness, I'm doing it now.
I don't think I want to see right before lunch. They protect the mother from the foal hooves. Before and during birth, and fall off after the foal is born. That's my fact for the pod, but I have a small addition that is for your ears only. Golden trio. Matt, stop reading now if you haven't already. Jess, Dave, did he stop? Okay, good. Now that it's just the four of us, I just wanted to say, hey, do I read this? I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know what.
Is this off the record?
I'm not sure. Do I keep reading?
Well, maybe, and then we'll redact it if we need to.
Okay, I'll keep reading. Just want to say, hey, thanks. You lot get together and make your dumb jokes and go on dog shit riffs, and it's a delight for everyone who listens. But for me especially, in the last year, you lot have been a godsend. Maybe I won't keep reading just because Tilly goes into some details that maybe they don't want read out.
Right, because here's the thing. Like you said, you don't proofread it, and we never know if someone's doing a bit.
Is this a bit?
Are we ruining the bit by not reading it out, or is
Yeah.
this a genuine personal thing? Thank you.
And Tilly, I'm sorry if you wanted me to read all this, but I'm just going to take an executive decision and redact some, personal
That's
experience.
right. Maybe err on the side of caution, and Jess will read it to me as soon as we start recording.
I promise you. But thank you so much,
Thank you
Tilly.
very much. And
you
I've looked up-
frickin' rule.
I looked up foal slippers, also referred to apparently, because I'm looking at photo on Reddit, golden slippers or fairy fingers. But they do look tentacle and a little bit gross.
Wow. I like fairy fingers better.
Yeah,
Foal slippers is cute.
False. I had no idea what Tilly was saying there. I thought that maybe as they're being born, like the farmhand or the vet or whatever that's assisting in the birth, if they're there, slips on
Little
slippers,
booties.
little booties, but no, they're actually naturally occurring.
But how clever is that to sort of protect the mother
Yes,
from these sharp little hard hooves?
nature,
Very clever.
nature, fantastic.
Nature. Am I right?
You're right.
Incredible stuff.
You're right.
And finally, for fact photo question, we have Jacoby Austin the Angel.
Hello, Jacoby.
And
Great to hear from you again. Jacoby was one of the people who, I don't know if you remember, on the first episode of our quiz show, which is out now. A couple episodes are out. Please like, subscribe, watch it on YouTube on the Stupid Old channel. And I made up an email in one of the rounds for the Google.
Of course, yes.
I've had a couple of dozen people email that fake email because I said email me. Jacoby, one of them. Good to hear from you again.
Great. Well, Jacoby's title is Birthday Boy. So we'll see what this has to, I don't know what that could possibly
Okay, what does that mean?
And Jacoby has a brag/plea, which is interesting. I don't think we've had a plea before. We definitely had brags,
Brag/pre.
but not
Okay.
pleas. Okay. So, Jacoby's brag/
I don't know if I just said pre, I meant plea.
plea. It's all right. I corrected you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Matt, Jess, and Dave. It's almost my birthday, 14th of April. So it's at the time of recording, it's in a few days. At the time this comes out, it was a couple of days ago.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
I will be turning 25. Hopefully this fact quote or question gets read out around that time. It has.
Very close. Happy 25th.
It is so thoughtful that you guys knew and coordinated a Nick Mason special live episode to be
That's
recorded on that day as a present to me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's on Sunday. You're all invited to my big birthday bash, of course, and May so too. It'll be here in Sacramento, California, the capital. I just added that because
nice
I
one.
was recently
Bit of trivia.
doing some trivia on state capitals. So hopefully you can fly out and then be back to Melbourne in time for the show, airfare not included. Jokes aside, my brag is that I'm getting my first tattoo. Yes. Some small runes probably on my wrist in reference to my favourite book, The Hobbit. My plea is to Dave. Please cover The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings in the next season of Book Cheat. I beg of you.
I've just committed to doing Dune.
Yeah.
So,
The Lord of the Rings, those are big books.
yeah, put those three together. They're quite long.
That'd be long
The
episodes of
Hobbit
the pod.
is shorter.
It would be like a 3-part just for one book.
Yeah, but The Hobbit is shorter. Maybe I could do The
Hobbit's
Hobbit.
doable. I eagerly await the new season. I'll see you all at the party, and until then, ta-ta and farewell.
Ta-ta and farewell. I'm under what?
I wonder what. Thank you so much, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday, 25.
The big 25. A good year for me. I'd do anything to be 25 again.
Oh my goodness, what were we doing at 25? We're starting this show at 25?
Yeah.
We started this show. Jacoby,
I started comedy.
start your podcast. Do
Just
it.
like I was 24, 25. Just started.
Wow.
A beautiful time.
So young.
I know. So much ahead of me. So thank you to Jacoby, Tilly, Nathan, and Sophie. And the next thing we like to do is shout out to a few people on the Ask Prod or above.
I believe it's the Ask Prod or above, but it's all laid out there on Patreon.
It is.
We've
It's nice
named
and
them
clear
all
on Patreon.
after different things. There's the Ask Prod, the associate producer. There's the Rooknama.
Yes. Etc.
Etc. I could go on, but I won't. Now, Jess, you usually come up with a game
Yes.
based around the topic at hand, which is, of course, an art heist, the Scream.
Yeah. I was thinking what piece of art they've stolen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good one. Are we naming art or
As in real art, or are we making up
making
names
up
for art?
That's fun.
You want to make up names for art? Great.
Yeah.
Should I open up an art generator?
Is there one?
Nah. I mean, maybe. But I'll go the horse name generator and
That can
for
be the-
inspiration.
Okay. You bounce off that.
I love the horse name generator, and I don't apologize for that. All right, great. Okay, so let's thank some people. Do you want me to go first? I'll kick it off.
Please.
All right, maybe we do. Do we go? Let's go one for one.
Okay, and we always go for the horse name generator?
Or if you just got art, if you've got a name for an art, go for
Okay,
it.
I'll go for it. Yep.
Okay, if you've got a name for an art, Jesus Christ. I did art in high school. Wow. I did art.
But did you do English?
No. So, first up, I would love to thank from Pittsford in New York, in the US, Hap.
Hap. Great name. I like the name Hap.
Love the name Hap.
Hap. Okay, let's start with the horse name generator is going to inspire us.
Great. Okay, here we go.
And then I can.
Horse name generator. Sonic.
Sonic.
What about Sonic?
Sonic feels like an installation. Like you go into a space, maybe it's dark. There's speakers in the roof, in the floor.
Okay, Sonic Quiet.
Sonic Quiet.
And that's an installation.
Wow, but it is difficult, obviously, to steal an installation. But if you can do it, bring it home and install it in your own basement. That's pretty cool.
How impressive is that?
Hap, you've done it.
That's pretty freaking cool.
They didn't even really have security because they're like, what are you going to steal? Like, there's just
the installation?
Sound? Come on.
And they did.
They came in on Monday and they're like, oh my God.
Someone stole sound.
It's an empty room. It's silent in here. All right, we'll go one for one.
Yep.
I would like to thank from Lynham in the ACT. I'd like to thank Elizabeth Phillips.
Elizabeth Phillips.
Okay.
Stole
the sticky tape Mona Lisa.
Wow.
Mona Lisa, and it looks exactly like the portrait made entirely from sticky tape.
Like sticky tape that's been coloured in?
No.
It's just sticky tape.
It's clear.
But it looks exactly like the Mona Lisa.
It's amazing.
How do they do it?
It's an incredible artist.
Wow.
Obviously, you can't see it anymore because Elizabeth Phillips has stolen it.
I would just collect so much dust.
Yes. But easy to steal. You sort of just put your hand on it. It sort of attaches to it.
Sticks to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stick tape Mona Lisa.
Congrats on getting away with it.
Yeah.
For now, Elizabeth Phillips. I would love to thank from DeLorean. Deloraine.
I don't know. It's in Tasmania.
In Tassie.
I've never heard of it.
I reckon somewhere in there we got that right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Daniel Webb stole the...
Is this from the generator?
Yes. Sunlight Sudoku.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That also sounds installation like it's some sort of setup of skylights, and at a certain time of day, all the boxes get filled with the right numbers.
Yeah, that's cool.
But like, you know, for 1 minute a day.
Yep.
And now no minutes a day because Daniel's stolen.
It's gone. Pretty cool.
Good on you. On you, Daniel. I would like to thank from Margate in Queensland, it's Lisa.
Lisa.
Looks like your last name might be with a G if you're wondering who you are.
Just so you know.
We only read out what we are provided through Patreon. A couple of people have asked lately,
you
only said my first name.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just get a form that's generated saying all your details.
Yeah.
And it's obviously what you've used as your username, I believe.
And sometimes, we can maybe tell because of your email, but we're not going to dox you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some people don't want
Some people only want your first name, so that's why we don't get specific. Lisa. Okay, let me think of an artistic piece. Yes. I'm going to call it the Ballet of the Dalmatians.
Oh, my goodness. That sounds gorgeous. I'm imagining oil on wood.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. No cardboard here.
And a big, beautiful gold frame.
Yes.
It's huge. Like, it takes up a full wall at the NGV.
It's
and
huge.
And that's saying something because the NGV is fucking massive, man.
Massive.
It's massive.
Good luck stealing that. Oh, Lisa's done it.
Oh,
it's kind of like a Degas piece mixed with those dogs playing poker.
Yes.
That's what I'm imagining.
That's beautiful.
Lisa, well done.
I would love to thank Amanda Lucas Patton.
That's a good name, that.
Lucas Patton. That's good.
Not all double barrels sing like that.
No.
That's a good one. Amanda Lucas Patton. Okay, we've got to go back to the horse name generator for an art.
Okay.
And the name of... I keep saying artistic piece. I guess that's fine.
Yeah, that's a thing,
Just a
isn't
piece.
it? I'm just going to refresh, see what else it's got for me. How about Rocky October?
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
That makes me think.
Yeah, I'm imagining a lighthouse and it's grey and
that's
waves
good.
crashing over the rocks and stuff.
That's nice. And is it a painting? Is it a photo? What is it?
It's a feeling.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
Rocky October.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Rocktober.
Almost as good as Blocktober, but not quite.
Not quite as good as Blockbustertober, of course, the full title.
That's right. You want to thank someone?
I would like to thank from Winslow, also in Victoria, it's Rebecca Free.
Rebecca Free. What a name.
That is good, isn't it?
Rebecca Free is obviously the artist behind Major Wombat.
Okay.
And it's a portrait. You know how sometimes you can get like portraits of your dog in like a uniform or in like a suit or something? It's a wombat wearing like a major's dress wear. So that's pretty cool.
That's good.
I didn't even need to explain it. It makes complete sense.
Exactly, you got it. You can imagine it in your head. And now Rebecca Free's stolen it. So pretty good.
Next, I would love to thank from New Farm in Queensland, Lisa Tarasenko.
Oh, okay.
What a name!
What about self-portrait in
Pastels.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's obviously not Lisa's self-portrait. It's an artist's self-portrait that Lisa has stolen.
Of course, yeah. Lisa's not the artist.
Yeah.
She's the thief.
Yeah.
And
That's a type of art. Absolutely.
If the audience was anything to go by for this episode, they love a thief. They really got on board with this thief. I was like, I don't know if I love or hate this guy, to be honest, but the audience, they loved him.
Yeah, they really, really got behind him. He's the kind of person that I could imagine something pops up. He's got a Google alert on his own name and he would listen back.
100%.
And enjoy and maybe even write into the podcast to say, you actually got this bit wrong or something.
Yeah. And even if he's heard this bit, he'll still go, well, no, actually.
I look forward to your email.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear from you, Paul. Hope I said your name right because it's spelt just like P-A-L, but with like umlauts. But then in all the docos,
They say Paul?
it sounds like Paul. So I was
Okay,
just
great.
going
I
to
think
call
he's
him
probably
Paul.
gotten over that then because everyone else has already misnamed him if that's...
If that's wrong. It's Paul.
What about it turned out that Lenny in the front row, who we referred to,
Yes.
her father, was also there with a Swedish exchange student. And I know Sweden and Norway are very different countries, but I was starting to question all of our sort of Nordic pronunciations.
Yeah. She said it was very funny. And I said, because of how good it was? And she said, yes. I said, correct answer.
Yeah, did we say Nutberg?
Nutberg was correct
Is
or
that
no?
offensive? I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
But it was very fun.
It was a lot of fun. All right, couple more people to thank.
Okay, I would like to thank from Columbus, Ohio, which Matt would say is God's country. And we'd agree, Scott Alexander Foreman.
God, some great names today.
Yeah, SAF.
Scott Alexander Foreman.
Okay,
stole Statue of David.
No.
Yeah.
The one?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So the one I saw
In a backpack.
The one I saw was actually a fake?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did see a fake.
Where?
Like out the front
On the Gold
of the
Coast?
museum.
There is one on the Gold Coast.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
No, so like out the front of the museum that David is in, there was another David.
Oh, okay. So
And
you
we-
saw that one and you didn't
Well,
bother
because the
going
museum
in?
was too expensive and we were backpackers. So we're like, we can't afford to go in there
But
just
I've
to see
seen this
David.
one.
And then we're like, oh, there's a David.
Oh, there's David. There's a
And
David.
that was it. What a trip.
There you go.
Also saw the Pope. So,
The real Pope or
The real
the
Pope.
free Pope?
Oh.
The model
He
of the
did
Pope.
look a little
That is
different.
great. Who was your Pope then? Was it Francis or was this what?
Oh, not my Pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Francis. He's still the current Pope.
The current
But
Pope.
he was brand spanking new. He'd been in for
Oh,
a few
right.
months at the time. It was 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been around a while now.
Crazy.
Papa Francesco.
We love you, I guess. And finally, I would love to thank from, location unknown.
Okay.
We can only assume deep within the fortress of the moles.
Okay.
I would love to thank Matt.
Matt?
Our Matt?
It could be.
It could
They
be.
haven't given much information. Matt, how about, okay.
We don't know where
We
our
won't
Matt
give-
lives.
How about I tell you this,
He
Matt?
won't tell us.
You've got a number in your email.
Yes, you
The
do.
third
digit
digit
is a digit.
Is a digit.
There you go.
You know it's you.
Third character.
You know it's you.
All right, I fucked it up.
I also
Whatever.
paused because I didn't know how to say it. Yeah. The third character in your email
is a digit.
is a number.
Now you know.
And it ends in a .com. Just saying.
Just saying.
Okay. Now you know I've said too much.
I've got one.
Oh, Matt from the Horse Name Generator. What's he stolen?
Midnight Crescendo.
Yes.
How good is that?
That's
This
great.
horse name generator is the best. I'm saving it to my favourites.
Midnight Crescendo. That's like you know.
Midnight Crescendo.
I feel like it's a piece where it's all just one color. You know, like it's a big canvas.
It's a beautiful indigo.
Yeah.
When I was a kid one time, naming all the colours of the rainbow, I once said Bendigo. My teacher laughed at me and I felt embarrassed.
Oh,
but
really?
now I think about it, I'm like, that's just cute.
That is
like
so
that's
cute.
just a kid saying the wrong word slightly. That's cute as shit.
It's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they were in the rights to laugh, but to
I
be
agree.
like, oh, good one.
Yeah. He was like, oh, you mean indigo. And now I guess it's funny because I said a town.
Is this the same teacher that just looked at you when you asked a question?
No, this was a good primary school teacher.
Okay.
Mr. Lane. And I love him. He was a great teacher.
Good on you, Mr. Lane.
So thank you so much. Sorry, I've changed tabs. Hang on. Oh, God. I'm not good at this. Thank you so much to Matt, Scott, Lisa, Rebecca, Amanda, Lisa, Wow, 2 Lisas. Daniel, Elizabeth, and Hap.
On you guys.
We love you so much. And the final thing we need to do is welcome some people into the Triptych Club. So it looks like we have 3 people to welcome in this week, Dave. Do you feel comfortable, confident?
Yes, I'm warming up. Obviously, we've got Jaffles on the way.
I know.
Very exciting.
Our food is here, so we're going to just we're going to get through this quickly because I want to eat.
But we still love you. The Triptych Club, to explain, it's sort of like our clubhouse, our hall of fame, if you will, that you can live, work and play in. These people have been supporting the show on the shout-out level or above for 3 consecutive years. Already had a little time in the sun a couple of years back when we said thank you initially, but they've continued to support the show. To enshrine them forever, we welcome them into our Triptych Club, which is like a theatre of the mind type thing. It's a clubhouse, a fun zone. There's food, there's drink, there's entertainment. It's just a lovely place.
It's a beautiful place. Matt's usually lifting the velvet rope, letting you in. I'm behind the bar. I've got a lot of Norwegian food this time.
What do we got?
I can't pronounce any of it.
Oh,
but
okay,
it's
great.
very nice.
Do you just point to it and go, one of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, not my best system, but it's very nice, I'm sure.
Great. Even if you knew if you had an attempt to pronounce it, it would be wrong anyway. So
it'd be offensive.
Exactly. So it's just easier they point
Just
and you go this, and they go, I guess.
They say, I guess, thank you, because they have manners. You usually book a band as well. Have you booked a band this week?
You're never going to believe it.
What have
Oh
you
my
done?
gosh. I've been trying to get this band for ages because I'm a big fan. But I
Okay.
can't believe they finally said yes. Hitting the stage tonight, it's Primal Scream.
Whoa.
Can you believe it?
I can't. Are they Norwegian?
No, it's the Scream.
Scream. I was going to say the Beatles, and they played Norwegian Wood.
Oh, that's pretty good too, but obviously the Beatles are...
Primal Scream.
They're a maybe.
We can't get them. Primal Scream, that's good.
Yeah.
For the Scream.
Yeah, thank
good
you.
stuff.
But also, obviously, it's a coincidence.
A pleasure to work through the process with you.
Yeah.
All right, so I will play the role of Matt, except without his criticism,
Thank God.
because that does nothing for anybody's creativity, and I will hype you up as well. So I'm going to read out a name. Dave's going to hype you up. We're going to welcome you into the club. Everybody's around. We're cheering. We're clapping. We're having a good time. We're cheersing. We're ready. We're excited.
Yes.
So first person we'd like to welcome into the Triptych Club from Gravenhage in, I'm assuming, the Netherlands.
Oh my goodness, Gravenhage.
Tim van Rossum.
From Gravenhage, Graverbevy.
Yes.
Or I was going to say, before I heard that, Tim Van Rossum, more like Tim the Man Rossum.
Oh,
Come on down.
That's good stuff. Yes. From Alexandria, would love to welcome in Sean Parfrey.
Sean Parfrey, more than Parfrey the course.
Yes, par for the course.
Par for the course, but better than that.
Yes.
I'm talking an equal hole-in-one with Sean Parfrey.
Oh. And finally, from Sunnybank, Queensland, Logan Husky.
They ain't no Bogan Husky. It's Logan Husky.
Woo!
My world feels Sunnybank when you're around.
That's nice.
You're from Sunnybank.
That's very nice. You've done it. Thank you, Logan, Sean, and Tim. Welcome into the Triptych Club. Please grab a drink, point at a food you would like, and get ready for Primal Scream.
Yeah, moving on up. All right.
Is there anything that we need to say before we get on out of here and eat our jaffles?
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. For our feast. We're going to feel sick for the
Matt.
next recording.
Don't tell
Oh
Matt.
my God.
You're going to be so mad at us.
I'm mad if you're listening. You're not listening.
Yeah,
You're not listening.
not this far.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out to the Melbourne Comedy Festival. Our quiz show, do go on. The quiz show is online.
Yes.
More episodes are coming out every Sunday night at 8 o'clock Melbourne time. We're premiering them every week in April, every Sunday in April and May 2024. So at the time of recording, we've only premiered one, but there's another one out now. And people are in the comments. We're having a great time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun and people have been really enjoying it. So definitely go and check it out. It would mean a lot to us.
Yeah,
if you
really.
could go and watch
Exactly.
it, share it around with your friends.
We only get to make more, which we hope we do, if people watch it.
That's
Basically,
right.
That's the simplest way to sum it up. So if you like it, share it around and we'll get some more eyeballs on it. We really appreciate that. But apart from that, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
You know, you can get in contact with us on social media at dogoonpod, dogoonpod.com.
Yep, that's our website. All of our info about shows and all sorts of stuff is up there, and you can suggest a topic there as well. Or there's a link in the show notes. So if you come across a story that you think, hey, that'd be a fun episode of the podcast, send it our way. That's where we get pretty much all of our ideas.
Exactly.
And we love it.
We outsource that part to you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, we'll be back with another episode next week. But until then, also thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Laters. Bye. That's my Jess impression.